What's up, guys? I'm actually off from work. Thank goodness. It's Monday. I've been thinking about how to address a lot of things. A lot of things. First and foremost, let me just say this. Guys, I'm so very humbled and so very grateful that those of you who've joined have chosen to join this family. I'm so humbled by that. Now, I woke up Sunday morning and I kept getting notices, new subscriber, new subscriber. I'm thinking, what's going on with my little micro mini channel? YouTube for me is truly a hobby. It really is. It's a way to document um, times and places that my family has been. And I use those videos as a reminder to where we were at a point in time in our life. Like the time I left Charlotte, North Carolina, without a job to come to California, and I came. I was supposed to stay with a friend. The friend never answered the phone. We wound up sleeping in the car. I didn't tell Shane because he would have said, turn your ass around. So he knew nothing until after the whole incident was over. I kept it from him. So we slept in the car for about a week. My son, who lived in Mar-a-Lago at the time, had a friend who said, you guys can stay here. We moved out to Mar-a-Lago for about 3 months, and we found a job in San Diego. Then we would commute from Mar-a-Lago to San Diego, and that is 2 hours one way, and we did that for about a month and a half. Then we moved to San Diego, got into a hotel, stayed there, moved into our first apartment, to make a long story short. So I'm very humbled when I look back on some of those videos. Again, this past Sunday, I was like, what is going on with this little micro mini channel of mine? Because I truly treasure my channel as far as being able to go back and look at my granddaughter when she was really young, and now my grandson who is here. So I'm an East Coast grandmother and a West Coast grandmother. So that's what my channel means to me. It's truly a hobby. But again, I'm so humbled for those who have chosen to join this family. Welcome, welcome, and thank you. Okay, we're going to just change channels for a minute. I didn't know why so many people were being attracted to this channel because I've never had that much traffic on this channel. And then I saw comments where people were saying I was sent by Apple Slices, or sent by Nick Snyder, or sent by Viewer's Voice. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I knew who Nick Snyder was. I definitely knew who Apple Slices was. But the Viewer's Voice, that was new to me. I was like, well, let me go see who was this. And then I realized it was Nick Snyder as well. And I was like, how did this happen? Like, what happened? I didn't get it. So I found a video where I guess one of his subscribers sent him my opinion on the situation with the custody case. And he sent people to the channel. I was so grateful for that. But then I became very saddened because he recommended my channel and then he was attacked. His channel was reported, and I think YouTube either took it down or he has a strike against his channel. I'm not sure how it works. I know he did he disputed it. So I'm hoping he won that dispute, because I would hate to think that I'm the cause of his channel being reported. And I don't understand this. Help me out. If you place yourself on a public platform and people draw an opinion or form an opinion of what you're choosing to put out there, I don't understand why go after them. Why try the intimidation? Why strike people's channel? I don't get it. I just don't understand that. If I put myself on a public platform and someone says something negative, I have to look at it. That's their opinion. And they have a right to that. And that's what the whole freedom of speech opening is on Mrs. videos. She has a right to her free speech, but what she doesn't have a right to do is intimidate, bully, and harass. I don't agree with that. And I'm so sorry that this has happened. I almost felt like it was my fault because I looked at his live and I was like, oh my God, like this is not happening. This cannot be happening. So I'm hoping that he gets through that unscathed. I really do. Now, let me address something else. So what I also want to address is I know there's a lot of people out there with feelings about Mrs. Behavior. I'm not going to say no or scam the auto or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to say little Mrs. Behavior. And that's what I'm going to call her. Because my channel, my platform will never be meant to demean, bully, or attack. I know there's a lot of people who don't agree with her behavior. I do not agree with a lot of things I've seen. But that's my opinion, and I have a right to that. If you put yourself on a public platform, I have a right to state my opinion. Now, if you cannot stand the fact that people are not going to agree with you, why place yourself on a public platform? That's all I'm going to say in regards to that. But what I do want to address is people have such strong feelings about her behavior that they're like, she's wrong, she's wrong, she's wrong, she's wrong. Okay, we all can agree that can clearly see what's going on. There are some people who want to believe they are acting in her best interest, and they have her back fully. No matter what you say, you are not going to convince them, and that's their mindset. And why try to convince somebody that already has their mindset? That's their mindset. It's called a mindset for a reason. They are set there. I'm not going to argue with you. If you come to my channel and you say, oh, but this, my comment is going to be, wow, okay. That's it. That's all you're going to get from me. Wow, okay. Because I'm not going to argue with somebody who has their mind set. These subscribers of hers are die-hard. You are not going to convince them that anything that she is doing is wrong. Now, people do not do what they are not successful at. People do not do what they can't do. People do not do what they're not allowed to do. If she's asking for donations and people are continuing to give to her without knowing the full story or the backstory and continue to give blindly, then who is at fault? The giver or the receiver? That's the question. If you give blindly to someone, hoping that you're giving for the right cause or the right purpose or the right intent, then clearly I look at you. Chuck it up as a life lesson. Do I think she should give the money back for misleading people? Yes, because there are some people that's come and commented, well, she need an itemized bill because he wasn't doing his job. What I don't agree with is, and I will not ever never agree with this. You do not, on any circumstances, jeopardize somebody's professional credibility for gain. There's nothing right about it. I work in a hospital. I have a behavioral unit in my hospital where people are mandated to stay 72 hours if they bring them in on a hold, or if people check themselves in. So we have psychiatrists, psychologists, and therapists on staff. They don't give itemized bills. It is by the session. If you're in a hospital environment, you get a salary. But if you have a private practice, then there's a session cost or hourly cost. What are you itemizing? How many pencils you used? How many pieces of paper you use? The tissue count you use? What is the itemized bill for? Somebody tell me. And if there was no visit, what is the charge for? Because you can't charge for a service that you haven't rendered. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. I don't understand. No, I do. I get it. Some people are so diehard that they refuse to believe they have been duped. I refuse to believe that I was led astray, that I was ran amok, that Plymouth Rock, I didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on me. I refuse to believe that I can't see the trees for the forest. Because I see what I see. And nobody convinced me that I see other than what I see. Let me ask y'all something. Why would y'all want to get into a battle with somebody like that? I don't understand. I'm not here to demean. I'm not here to attack. And I'm not here to bully. This lady, Little Miss, is doing what she's been doing because she is successful at it. She is successful. It works for her. She's doing what works for her. And there are people who can't see the trees in the forest because they can't narrow it down to the finest element. They can't. They're blinded. And you have to let them wander around until they see the clearing. You can't help them get somewhere they're not willing to go. And let me tell y'all something else. This is why I chose to speak up. This is why I chose to have an opinion. Hey, Taz, let me ask you this. When do y'all go to court? Do you go back to court for mediation?
No, we're going to mediation. That's tomorrow.
Oh, for the custody?
Yeah.
Are you going to use the fact that you had her found, was she found in contempt?
Yeah.
So she was found guilty. It's contempt of the child custody agreement.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use the fact that I'm going to get her on the stand and get her to admit that there was an altercation that happened on Saturday.
Oh, when she jumped on,
Tamika.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her to admit that before any altercation happened that I tried to say, hey, let's just remove the Saturday. I'm going to do
She's not willing to do anything that's going to benefit you. Right, and she's not looking at it logically because Saturdays has always been an issue, and I don't understand. She doesn't even get a whole Saturday. It's like she picks Jenna up, takes Jenna to her apartment, sit in the apartment with her, and then brings her.
I can't say what she's doing with Jenna.
I mean, I know you can't say that in court, but
what I'm going to do is my whole argument is going to be, it's going to be one. I feel this is the best for Jenna because her mother is, you cannot co-parent with her. I'm going to use the email where she says, I have the right to work, not to work with the likes of you. I'm going to demonstrate how I've tried to be nothing but logical since being here. I'm going to use the fact that there was an altercation that happened that could have been avoided.
In front of Jenna. In front of Jenna.
I'm going to use the fact that she doesn't take her to school when she's supposed to.
Oh, that's right.
She was 17 days of school last year.
And she's...
And then she missed 5 days of school this year.
And you can only miss 10 in the school year, right?
You can only miss 10 in the school year.
Good thing she in elementary, or they probably would have failed her.
So what I want to say is, like, I want to be in control of the school. I will make her schooling decisions.
Jenna is nothing more than a pawn and a weapon. And it seems like Jasmine uses Jenna to agitate, aggravate, or frustrate. And that's not fair to her.
Turn off these therapist notes and tell her, hey.
Oh, that's right.
She took it. Man, I'm going to destroy this bitch.
Well, she made it easy. She definitely made it easy. And the therapist did say that she needed parenting classes. And then she stopped taking Jenna to the therapist. Because they said that her and her mother needed therapist classes. I remember that. Because I remember you sent me the therapist notes and I kept them.
I have them in my phone.
You have them? Yeah, I kept them when you emailed them to me. You did all of this through the self-serve. You filed all the paperwork by yourself in the courts, right?
Yeah, I did all this myself.
Right, in the self-serve department that we used to go to when I was there with you? Yeah, that's what I thought. So you went in there against an attorney, and you still won.
Yeah.
Because of all the evidence you presented.
Yeah.
You know what I say? Documentation beats conversation every time.
But here's the biggest thing that got her is she got on the stand, and the question I just told you about. I said, so you were aware that I wanted to spend Thursday with my daughter. I wanted to pick my daughter up Thursday. She said yes. She was aware of it. I said, so at that time, you could have, made preparations for me to pick up Jenna, and we could meet somewhere and exchange Jenna so that I could spend my time with her. Then go back to the plan, right? She said, yeah. I said, so let me ask you this question: why didn't you? And her response was, oh, I don't know, just slipped my mind.
No, I didn't. This is why I chose to say something about something that was placed on a public platform. And I chose to share my opinion and my experience. You tell me how you would feel if you were going through this situation and you heard or saw someone misleading a situation, using a situation that you had experience in. You tell me. Guys, I can't say how humbled I am for you all to be here. But this is a positive channel. I want this to be inspirational. I'm a very spiritual person. I truly believe what you put out into the universe, you will get back. I believe that the energy that you put off, you will attract. I'm not going to get into a negative battle with people whose minds are already made up. It's okay. Choose to believe what you believe. Choose. That's what makes us all unique. My channel will be inspirational. We will laugh and joke. We'll talk about my grandbaby. I thank those of you who said he's very precious to me. We'll take trips together. We'll do things together. We'll have motivational talks together. But let me tell you something. Little Miss could have been me. She could have been me, except for the decision I made for me. What you guys see is a surface level of this girl. There's a deeper level that she can't show, that she won't show. This is a broken person. She's broken. I know broken because I was broken. I left home at 16. I lived on the streets for a very long time. I would go in people's houses that I didn't know just to have a place to sleep. I get it. I get it. I used to be so angry. So angry. You couldn't have a conversation with me that pissed me off and I wouldn't snap. There was no such thing as constructive criticism with me. I just heard criticism. So I will argue. And if you didn't back off, my next resort was to fight. It amazes me when I hear people say they've never been in a physical fight. I've been jumped. Now I won. Probably because, I was always angry. But I've been jumped by 2 or 3 girls at one time. And I was like 23, 24. I'm 50 now. I've taken a very conscious stand on being a better person every day of my life. I'm on a self-improvement journey. So therefore, the grace of God, there goes I and Little Miss. I could have used my life as an excuse to get what I want because I didn't have. I didn't have. And nobody was willing to give me. So I could have figured out how to con because I've lived with dope heads. I've lived with drug dealers. I've lived with prostitutes. I lived anywhere where anybody was willing to take me in. I've lived with hustlers. So I know that life. But I didn't choose that life. She chose it. She chose it. She's broken. I asked God, why am I so angry? And he showed me, you're angry because you're hurt. And you're going to have to deal with the hurt in order to address the anger. And that's what I did. I'm here. because I chose differently. I could have chose to be her. I could have chosen to be her. I could be her. So I get it, but then I don't get it. Because once I became a mother, another side of me appeared. I didn't want my child ever to feel what I felt. I felt abandoned. I didn't feel loved. I felt unwanted. And I felt the only time that my family came around me is when they were in need. And that wasn't fair to me because I wanted to be wanted for a long time. So I had to work on me. She's chosen not to. This is her life's journey. That's her path because she's going to get back what she's putting out. Believe it or not. She will. It will eventually come back around to her. And she's going to have to deal with a lot of things she's done. But until then, she's going to do what she can do because she's successful at doing it. And people are willing to appease her and stroke her ego and defend her. And that's the truth of the matter. My prayer for me that would not allow me to be Little Miss was, God, allow me to be stronger today than I was yesterday. And allow me to be stronger tomorrow than I am today. With that being said, I chose a different way. Yeah, but you can't lead somebody to see what they're willing not to see. And that's it. All right, guys. I thank you again for joining me. I'm so excited and humbled, and I don't know what else to say. I can't believe it. And Nick, Apple Slices, thank you guys so much. Bye, guys.